Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is this week's episode of Video Game Reviews Revival. And, didn't mean to move that, but anyway. Yeah, as you can see here by what's in front of you, we are covering Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart today. And this game released on the PlayStation 5 in 2021. And on Steam in 2023. And of course, Ratchet is your main playable character in this one, and it is a really fun game. And of course, you have his robotic friend and sidekick Clank in this game, and there's also a female Lombax in the game that you're introduced to in this game named Rivet. And she has a robot partner similar to Clank, which is Kit. I'm kind of wondering why they never made a spin-off of this. It would obviously be Rivet and Kit if they did that, but anyway. I digress. Anyway, you navigate Ratchet and Rivet through diverse environments across a multitude of levels, defeating enemies with an array of varied weapons and gadgets, as well as traversing obstacles to complete key mission objectives. Now, one thing. Now, there's real-time. Now, the concept of real-time, instantaneous travel between different areas is introduced to you in this game. For areas, planets, and other worlds within gameplay scenes via a system of interdimensional portals. Pardon me. And there's a new mechanic dubbed the Rift Tether that's introduced in this one that pulls that pulls you from one side of a portal to another, which allows you to move quickly between points. And of course, this also has the return. This game also has return planets explored in previous entries with a dimensional twist. And there's a lot of accessibility options in this one. So, yeah. So it's a really good game. And alright, so how this goes is that after the events of in the Nexus, Ratchet and Clank are celebrated as galactic heroes during a parade that's hosted by Captain Quark, Skid McCarts, and Rusty Pete on Coruscant 5. And during that parade, it's revealed that Clank has repaired the Dimensionator, which is a device capable of opening rifts to other dimensions, so that Ratchet can search for the Lombax race as well as his missing family. But of course, Dr. Nefarious attacks the parade and tries to steal the Dimensionator. Oh, that Dr. Nefarious. Dr. Nefarious, of course, being the bad guy in this series. And during the struggle, Ratchet unmistakably shoots the Dimensionator, which results in dimensional rifts opening randomly. Ratchet, Clank, and Dr. Nefarious are all transported to an alternate universe where the Dimensionator explodes, which damages the fabric of space and time and causes the three to be separated. And Clank ends up awakening to find himself alone, and he's now missing his right arm as a result of the explosion. He ends up being discovered and picked up by, of course, the female Lombax named Rivet, that I already mentioned earlier. And Dr. Nefarious ends up in a throne room where he is mistaken for Emperor Nefarious, which is an alternate version of himself. Now, unlike Dr. Nefarious, the Emperor version has never been defeated and ends up ruling over the galaxy. And elsewhere, Ratchet finds himself alone and starts searching for Clank. And with the Emperor absent on conquest, Dr. Nefarious assumes his identity and sends his new minions after Ratchet and Rivet. And then while searching along, Ratchet ends up witnessing Rivet escaping the planet with Clank. Ratchet then encounters the Phantom, a member of the Resistance that's opposed to Emperor Nefarious, which Rivet is part of, and gives him an electronic helper named Glitch to help him get a ship to follow her. Rivet then takes Clank to her hideout on Sargasso in order to interrogate him, refusing to believe his words about the dimensional rifts due to, well, her not trusting robots. They then discover a dimensional anomaly on the planet, which Clank investigates. making contact with a prophet named Gary, who ends up enlisting his help in repairing other dimensional anomalies to prevent the dimensional cataclysm. Rivet learns the truth by looking into Clank's memories and also repairing Clank's communicator so that they can get in contact with Ratchet and come up with a plan to rebuild the Dimensionator so that they can return to their own home dimension and stop the dimensional cataclysm. Ratchet then heads out to find the blueprint for the Dimensionator and recruits one of Gary's robot appearances, Kit, in this case, to be his partner. Kit's warning Ratchet that she's a warbot built by the Emperor Nefarious and worries that she might lose control of her programming and attack him. But of course, she's assured by Ratchet that they make a good team. Well, at least I would hope they would make a good team. They then go to a secret lab on Cordelia to forge a new Dimensionator, while Rivet and Clank head to Blazar Prime to gather the phase quartz needed to power it. And then after it's accidentally destroyed, the two search for the mythical fixer on Tauren 4, who can repair anything, and convince him to overcome his own self-doubt to repair the phase quartz. Ratchet and Rivet then meet in the Skartsu debris field, with Clank reuniting with Ratchet and Kit, and Kit agreeing to become Rivet's partner. They then complete the Dimensionator. But then what happened? What do you think happens? Yep, Dr. Nefarious arrives and steals it. Dr. Nefarious gets defeated in battle, but the real Emperor Nefarious arrives and easily defeats Ratchet and Rivet and steals the Dimensionator for himself, which he plans to use to eliminate Captain Quantum and destroy the Resistance. Rivet then pursues Emperor Nefarious, but uses the Dimensionator to banish her to a pocket dimension. And as Rivet searches for a rift to escape through, she tells Kit about how she lost her arm to a warbot attack with Kit, realizing she was the one responsible. And then Ratchet heads up to Ardolis to try and warn Captain Quantum to stop Emperor Nefarious from banishing Captain Quantum through a rift. Emperor Nefarious then celebrates by finally conquering the universe, but doesn't feel fulfilled until he realizes he can use the Dimensionator to conquer every single dimension. And spying on Emperor Nefarious using a dice that Quantum bugged on him, Ratchet and Rivet then realize that Emperor will end up needing the dimensional map and head out to intercept him. Rivet and Kit then board Emperor Nefarious' flagship and rescue Gary, who reveals that he hid the dimensional map inside a dimensional anomaly. They recover the dimensional map and are ambushed by the Emperor Nefarious and banished through a rift. Kit then transforms into her warbot form to try and stop Emperor Nefarious, which shocks Rivet, but Kit ends up being banished through a rift as well. Ugh. And now with Rivet alone, she heads to Viceron for the prison facility. Emperor Nefarious has banished all his enemies to stages of prison break, which frees Ratchet and Clank as well as the rest of the Resistance. However, Kit feels guilty over causing loss of Rivet's arm and ends up leaving. As the Resistance regroups, Emperor Nefarious ends up announcing his plans to start invading other dimensions, beginning with Ratchet and Clank's home dimension. Ratchet, Clank, Rivet, and the Resistance pursue Emperor Nefarious through the rift. Ratchet and Clank then destroy Emperor Nefarious' giant power suit, and Kit returns to hold his forces at bay, while Rivet confronts Emperor Nefarious personally. As a result of working together, everybody ends up defeating and the Emperor Nefarious to his demise through a rift. Clark then recovers the Dimensionator and uses it to repair the dimensions, which avoids the dimensional cataclysm. Rivet and Kit repair their relationship, and before they're sent back to the dimension, Ratchet says they want to make one stop first. Yeah. That's overall a pretty solid game here. And this is actually made by the same people that made the Spider-Man games for the PlayStation, if you can believe that. Alright. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Ratchet and Clank series, then yeah, definitely get this game. Really fun game. I mean, I've already played through it once, but now I'm doing it on my Twitch channel. And you know, like I said, really fun game, so I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to give this a 9.1 out of 10. That's just my personal rating. I mean, you're all entitled to have different opinions, which is fine, but in any case, that'll do it for this episode, and I will see you all next time.